Welcome to our series on how government agencies are accelerating innovation with data and analytics. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here today with Gerry Miller, founder and CEO of Cloudticity. Gerry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Wyatt. It's great to be here.
Let's start by asking what makes a data-led migration to the cloud? That is where agencies can migrate and analyze data in the cloud. What makes that different from migrating applications or other workloads to the cloud?
It's a great question, Wyatt. Traditionally, migrations have focused on specific application workloads, which, while they contain data, constrain the usefulness of that data to a single use case. Focusing on the data primarily with a data-led migration allows the data to lead and then applications to be built around it. And so by centering the data at the middle of the migration, you're able to build multiple applications around the same data set, providing significantly greater functionality and usefulness for the data.
Can you talk to us about an example where efforts of a public sector customer or agency to migrate and analyze multiple data sets in the cloud has led to new insights or innovations in serving their organization's constituents?
Yeah, of course. The first thing that comes to mind is the work that we did a year ago with the state of New York, when they were the hardest hit state in the United States related to the COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, if you remember, there were makeshift morgues on the street and the situation was quite dire. New York needed a way to quickly analyze who had COVID, what the associated demographics looked like, what comorbidities or other health factors might lead to positive versus negative outcomes. They needed to feed a statewide contact tracing program to begin actually notifying people who may have been affected or exposed to COVID, begin isolating. And so the ability to look at large data sets and quickly analyze and assimilate and feed other applications was critical to addressing the problem.
So how does working with AWS and its partner community speed up the time to value for public sector customers in improving constituent services?
That's a great question. So when New York contacted us, it was March 23rd of last year. Their first question was, we need a data lake. We know we need to use data to attack this COVID problem. How many months will it take to stand up a data lake? And 6 days later, we had an operational data lake. In an on-premises environment, you simply can't move that fast. By working with competent partners like Cloudticity or others in the Amazon Partner Network, coupled with the power and flexibility of Amazon Web Services, we were able to essentially accomplish about 18 months of work in a short period of time. And 6 weeks later, New York State went from being the hardest hit state in the country to the first state to cross green. So the power of cloud is clear in this case.
That's very impressive. Lastly, Gerry, how have the efforts of migrating and analyzing data to the cloud, and again, this idea of data-led migration, changed your customers' cloud strategies or priorities?
Well, that's a great question. Our clients are quickly realizing that while their applications produce useful day-to-day impacts, the real power lies in the data itself. And so by centering the focus on a data-led migration and first moving data and then beginning to build applications around that, they've quickly expanded their repertoire of functionality and their ability to derive useful insights and, more importantly, actionable insights from the data. And all of that is through the power of a data-led migration.
Well, Gerry Miller, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share some of your experiences with your customers on data-led migrations in the public sector.
Thanks, Wyatt. It's been great.